also said they're going to have a display in Washington for the World War II memorial. And I wanted to be there. I was in the Battle of the Bulge. And I wanted to be there more than anything. And he said, bring your uniform. And I brought it to your house. And you tried on my Eisenhower jacket, and so did Gracie. We had a lot of fun. But when we got to the memorial, that fun was over. I stood by the Battle of the Bulge, and I cried my heart out. And I am so sorry. I am so glad to see you do what you're doing. I love you.
Oh, do you want to say something? You can share.
Okay, now I'm going to read my speech. The past week's Torah portion was from Amor, from the book of Leviticus. In this section, it provides detailed instructions in some of the holidays that we observe. I enjoyed this portion because the holidays are easy and fun to relate to. It frequently brought me back to time spent with special friends I haven't seen in a while and special time with my extended family. Two things I love thinking about. I hope that in this speech I am able to express what I've learned about the holidays and why they are special to me. Here are the holidays that are detailed anymore. Sabbath. Sabbath is the day of rest. When Hashem created our earth, he worked on earth for 6 days and rested on the 7th. We rest from Friday at sundown to Saturday, when the first 3 stars appear in the sky. Sabbath takes place every Friday night, beginning at sundown. To me, Sabbath is the reason I'm up here giving you my Torah portion. A few years ago, when I was in Florida, my family shared a Sabbath dinner with my aunt, cousins, and grandparents. After that evening, I wanted to learn about being Jewish. On Sabbath, there are many fun things you can do to celebrate. When I was younger, my friends the Winkeys and my family would celebrate Shabbat together. My favorite part was making the challah and, of course, eating it. We recently celebrated Shabbat in Ohio at my cousin Danny, Jessica, Dobby, and Ronan's. We observed many of the Sabbath rituals, reading from the prayer book, washing our hands, saying the prayers over wine challah, and while lighting the candles. I enjoy participating in these rituals. I am also learning more about Sabbath by being part of the Bat Mitzvah Club. Rosh Hashanah. Rosh Hashanah is the Jewish New Year. Every year I celebrate 2 New Years, one on January 1st and the other on Rosh Hashanah. I'm glad to have 2, because if I mess up on something between Rosh Hashanah and January 1st, fix it and make it my new Year's resolution. We blow the shofar many times in Rosh Hashanah to represent the cries of the Jews. The call of the shofar is a special feeling, a feeling of the heart that words cannot describe. Since Rosh Hashanah is the start of the new year, you want to be sure you start it in a happy mood. On Rosh Hashanah, we eat apples and honey. Their sweetness is a symbol of starting the new year in a sweet mood. There are also other special foods we eat. When I celebrated Rosh Hashanah at the Palish's home, there are 2 new fruits on the table. As we tried those, we were told they symbolize the importance of trying to experience something new during the year. Another thing on the table was my most favorite fruit of all, the pomegranate. All little seeds inside represent the many mitzvahs we should do during the year. This is particularly special to me because doing mitzvahs makes me feel good. Can there be a better way to spend the year than doing mitzvahs and feeling good? Yom Kippur. Yom Kippur is the Day of Atonement. This is the holiest day of the Jewish year. On this day, we are closest to Hashem and our own souls. If you have done something wrong, you should ask Hashem for forgiveness. You should donate money to charity to help people less fortunate than yourselves. That is a good way to apologize for Hashem for all the times you have done something wrong. While Yom Kippur is the most solemn day of the year, we also feel confidence knowing Hashem will forgive us. On Yom Kippur, many people 12 and older fast. Fasting is a spiritual way of focusing yourself. It helps you be more connected to Hashem and think about ways to improve yourself. I haven't fasted yet. Last year I decided to go a day without sugar. That was hard. This year I plan to fast. Passover. Passover is a holiday of remembrance, remembering the times when the Israelites were enslaved in Egypt. Today in America, there is not slavery ruler-wise, but there is slavery soul-wise. If we tell ourselves we can't do something because we know we won't like it or because we're scared, we are enslaving ourselves. If you hold yourself back, what seems impossible, you are enslaving yourself because you're trapped and cannot free yourself from the world. But if you work hard and push yourself, you will become free. On Passover, we need to do 3 things. Eat matzah, tell the story of Passover, and don't eat leavened products. When I was younger, I would have Passover dinner with our friends the Winkeys. Their grandma Stella told the story of the Exodus in a fun way. She had a bag of plagues. In the bag there are noses of wild animals that we could wear, and witches for boils, antennas for lice, locusts, rocks, and a thermometer. We would act out the plays and then run around the house looking for the hidden matzah. I always remember that. It was lots of fun. Lag Bomar. And finally, Lag Bomar. I've never really celebrated Lag Bomar, so I don't know much about it, so this bit's going to be short. Omar is the measure of barley brought to the temple on the first day of Passover. Omar is the time period between Passover and Shavuot, which is 50 days. During those 50 days, it is a time of strictness and rules. This is because the tragic events, such as when thousands of Rabbi Akiva's students died in terrible plague, and the loss of all the Jews when blood was shed against Europe, that happened during the time the Romans occupied Judea. On Lag Bamar, we also remember our famous leader, Rabbi Shimon bar Yochai, and the anniversary of his death on this day. While my Torah portion focused on observing holidays, I know that it's important to remember that I'm Jewish every day, not just on the holidays. I've really enjoyed attending Sunday school these last 2 years, learning Hebrew, learning prayers, and learning what it means to be a Jewish person. Becoming a bat mitzvah means that I have become a young Jewish woman. This is the beginning of a lifelong commitment. Studying this Torah portion has been a blessing because I know it will always remind me of my bat mitzvah ceremony as I continue to celebrate and learn more about these special holidays. At this time, I'd like to thank everyone, especially my grandparents, Ema, Papa, Granddaddy, and Margot, and my Aunt Marcia for coming and helping me celebrate this special milestone. I'd like to thank my cousin Danny for helping me with my speech and encouraging me. I'd like to thank my Aunt Rita for stretching my mind as I thought about all these holidays. I'd like to thank my mom for helping me recite my prayers and learning my speech, and of course, pushing me. And most of all, I'd like to thank Rabbi and Mrs. Newman for helping me prepare for my bat mitzvah, and most of all, helping me learn about my wonderful religion. Thank you. Okay, please join me for cake.
No, I don't. I think my wife expressed ourselves well, how proud we are of Alyssa, and how glad we are that everyone could be here for this. That was all I wanted to say to her.
Great, great. She did a wonderful, wonderful job. She encapsulated almost everything we're teaching at Hebrew School, the holidays in one speech, and you were able to see the excitement about Judaism and the way she expressed the meanings of the different holidays. So as I said before, I guess everybody's welcome to enjoy the... can't have a party without food, right? So go ahead, enjoy. Mazel tov, mazel tov.